Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the pre-match press conference for Team Australia for the match against Team Brazil on tomorrow's evening, 6 p.m. here in Montpellier. As a first, we apologize for the delay because of they have the big traffic. Thanks for your waiting. So now we are here with the coach of Australia, Ant Milic, and player number 7, Steph Catley.
Sounds like.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Before starting the press conference, please make sure your mobile phone has already downloaded the app for translation. Translation will be in English, French, Portuguese for today's press conference. You can find your languages via this app on your mobile. And for photographers, you have first 5 minutes to take photos. So then I kindly ask you to leave this room. Thank you. So if you have question, please raise your hand and wait the microphone. And then once you get the microphone, please say which language you will speak, and then introduce yourself, and then of course ask a question. Thank you for your understanding. So let's start. So we have a question. So who's first, please? Yes, gentleman. Oh, yes, gentleman in the second row, please.
Okay. It's Ben McKay here from Australian Associated Press. Ante, why don't we do the same as last time, and just an injury update, particularly on Claire. She looked like she was training away from the main group today.
Yeah, before I answer the question, once again, just on behalf of the team, apologies for being late and for keeping you all waiting for us. Yeah, look, Claire's one that she still has soreness. It's a muscle injury. It's obviously the hamstring, and we know with those injuries, unless she's done sprinting work, it makes it difficult to participate in such a game that will be played at a high tempo. So we'll give her every chance to be available for the game. There's a little bit less than 24 hours, so we'll assess it in the morning. It is getting better and better, but at the same time, there's a duty of care towards Claire as well. We understand after we lost Laura Alloway that we're a bit thin in that area there with the centre back. So again, she's experienced enough. She knows her body well. So we'll reassess that tomorrow and see how she goes. Others, Lisa Devanna looks to be okay, as does Caitlin Ford, and Mary Fowler again. She completed the majority of the session today. So again, the one with Mary, it's again, how does she feel afterwards? Once she's warmed up and she trains, she feels confident. But again, with a young player, getting to train and turn at high speed, to getting ready to say 100% with confidence she could play a part in the game, that's a decision that we have to make again tomorrow.
Yes, gentleman in the second row, please.
Elise Kellen-Knight's been under an injury cloud, played the last 10 minutes on Sunday. Are we likely to see her start tomorrow?
Yeah, again, so she's missed I wouldn't say she's missed a lot of football, but she hasn't played enough match minutes in the last couple of months. She came, of course, into Turkey underdone and with a little bit of an injury, but she's now done the work. She's got a bit more base fitness into her. We saw that she played 15 odd minutes the other day with Italy, and she's pulled up well with that. So we'll make a decision on her probably later tonight whether she'll start the game or we'll use her off the bench. But it's very positive for us that we can get definitely more minutes in her. From her, with the Brazil game than what she got against Italy.
A lady in third row, please.
Question in English for Steph Catley, Anna Harrington, Fox Sports Australia. Steph, firstly, the defence we know has been under a bit of scrutiny, and also with the potential of Polks maybe being out, you might have to, I guess, shift into the middle. How is all of that sitting with you?
Yeah, that is obviously a possibility. We haven't finalised everything just yet, but that's a role that I know how to play, and if I'm needed there, then I can definitely step in there and do a role. But we've got an experienced backline, so we've still got the cool, calm, collected heads in there that can control the backline no matter who's in there.
Gentleman in the middle, black shirts, please.
Hello, David Bash here from SBS. Question to Ante Milicic. Ante, do you expect Brazil to play at a higher tempo than Italy? And if so, what adjustments need to be made for game 2?
Yeah, look, the thing with Brazil, they're a different type of opponent. We understand they want to use their individual skills. Okay, so they like to play when the game's stretched. You could say the game being in two parts, really. So they really are strong in transition, and they back their front four in a 4v4, 4v5 situation. So what's important for us against an opposition like them is that we really keep to our shape and we keep our structure really well, and we're disciplined. We don't want an end-to-end game, an open game. We want to play, our principles, our way of playing, but at the same time we have to be very tactically disciplined to play against a team like that, because in many ways they have a lot of quality individuals and they rely on those individuals to get results. So again, the focus comes back onto ourselves. We've discussed a few things, we've analysed them, and we're confident that we're going to come up with a plan to put on a positive performance.
Gentleman in the first row, please.
Oh.
Excuse me, gentleman in the first row, please. Sorry. Could you be wait a bit? Yes, gentleman in the first row, please.
Thank you. Michael Lynch from the Melbourne Age and Sydney Morning Herald. There's a question for Steph, actually. You would have seen the kind of reaction that the results on Sunday got in the media and in Australia in general. Do you feel that it's an overreaction to a game that you lost in the 5th minute of stoppage time? You know, and does it give you even more pressure going into this game?
To be honest, I haven't read a lot. I tend to stay off the social media after results like that, or just in general. But it doesn't really change anything within the camp. We are really confident with what we can do as a team, and obviously it's an awful way to lose a game so late, and in a game that we really wanted to get off to a good start and win. But as I said, it doesn't change anything, and we looked forward to Brazil straight away and just started focusing on that.
Okay, gentleman in the middle, blue shirts, please.
Ben Knight from ABC Australia in English. Ante, what feedback did you have when you reviewed the game?
From who?
For the team.
Feedback is obvious. We looked at the game. We dominated possession. We had more shots than the opposition. We dominated field territory. We got caught out with a set piece that we've worked on. We didn't execute as well as we would have liked to, and we've made an individual error in our build-up. So, of course, as every game, there's things that we did well, but there's also things that we need to improve on, and we looked forward to correcting those things in the next 2 games.
Gentleman with blue shirts in second row, please.
Ante, Kieran Pender from The Guardian. You said on Sunday after the game that you asked Sam Kerr to play more out wide and cut in, and therefore we lacked the same aerial threat in the middle. Are we likely to see her in a more central role tomorrow?
Yeah, that's an option for us again. It was just the way that the game was going. We felt we needed to change something, and I think it worked quite well. She got in behind them a couple of times. We put in a few crosses. She got involved a little bit more in the game, but that's always been an option for her, and she's played out there before. So we've got a little bit of quality in that front third, so we'll look to come up with the best combinations moving forward for tomorrow.
Gentleman with white t-shirts, please.
Richard Barkin, Guardian English. Question for Ante. We get the sense Vidal plays with a flat 4 in midfield. We're not sure if we've got the best so far out of Caitlin Ford and some of those rotations there. Is it an opportunity to try something different in that, or behind that 4, but in that kind of key 10 area?
Yeah, well, that's an important part, that 10 area, but also how do we get the ball into that 10 area, That's things that we've worked on, and we've worked on a few little different variations in our formation and combinations. So that's something that we've definitely looked at, and at the same time we do feel with KK coming back into the squad, that's very important for us, because she's a real natural 6 for us, and a lot of the good play that we do have, or had in the past anyway, goes through her. So I think when we can make a few adjustments to that. And looking at the opposition, we've analysed that. So we're hoping that Caitlin's one of those players that can benefit from that. But at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to look to change a couple of little things going into the game tomorrow, and hopefully it pays off for us.
A lady with white shirts in third row, please. Yes.
English, Neve Owens from Optus Sport. Question for Ante. 2 questions for you, Ante. First one, you seem to be keeping a close eye on the keepers at training today. Are you considering your options there? And a follow-up, you've mentioned a little bit there about the front 3. Can we expect a change to your front 3 for this game?
Yeah, these keepers, you just need to keep an eye on them, to be honest, mate. Like, they're always isolated, they're on their own, so if you go there, people notice, and if you don't go there, they complain. So I just sometimes want to see what they're doing, to be honest, because when we review the training tapes, it's normal. We look at the work that we do with the field players, and I'm interested to see how they're going. And at the same time, we look at Lydia, the way she's training with her experience, and then we look at Mackenzie Arnold, but the young girls come in as well. Tegan Micah, she's been fantastic. She's combining the World Cup with her studies. She's been great, her energy, and Johnny's done a fantastic job with them. So I like keeping an eye on them now and then, and I think it's also good that I get away from the girls also at the same time during the warm up. But with the front 3, look. Possibilities, of course, that's something that we've looked at. There's probably one area, particularly in the wide parts, that we've got a few options with our wide strikers. So there's a good chance that we'll be looking to change a couple of things out there.
A lady in the middle with glasses on her head. Yes, please.
I guess playing Brazil has become a bit of a theme at the World Cup for you guys, and the last time you did play them at a major tournament was that Olympics heartbreak. Would it be good to get a bit of revenge back on them this time round?
That's for you, Steph.
That's all right. We obviously have made this a little bit of a routine coming up against Brazil at major tournaments, and I think we're pretty even on knocking each other out of big games and getting one up on the other. So I think they did win the last one in terms of a major tournament, so it would be very nice to get this one up on them again.
A lady in the middle with long hair. Yes, please. Yes.
Michelle Escobar from Optus Sport. Question for Ante. Would you say Australia's going into this game as an underdog, especially given after the first result?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that all goes down to the Brazilian mindset. What people from the outside think, whether we're favourites or underdogs, doesn't interest me. As Australians, we go into every game wanting to win and do our best. We understand how big a challenge tomorrow is, but at the same time we believe very much in the work that we're doing and the group of players that we have to put in a good performance.
Okay, gentleman in the middle, please. Black shirts, yes, please.
Same type of question to Steph. Is that a scenario where you lose a first match and this group is tested that you feel brings the best out of this group as far as, a backs to the wall type of scenario?
Potentially. I think there's a feeling you get when you lose a game like that, and if anything, it just fires you up more. It really lights something inside the team to kind of make sure that doesn't happen again. So it's not something that you want, but the reaction you get from it can be very strong. And I think in our group, it's definitely a vibe that we'll have a strong reaction against Brazil.
Gentleman in second row, please. Yes.
Thanks, Steph. Pardon me, sorry. Steph, we've learnt that the W League Chiefs and the NWSL Chiefs are meeting to discuss tie-ups, whether it's player swaps, more of them, fixtures being combined, injury loads, information sharing. Just because you're somebody that's played in both leagues a fair bit, do you support that? Would it be helpful for you? What are your thoughts on that sort of thing?
I haven't heard a lot about that. If I can, ask a question. Is it like what they did with Canada and Mexico in terms of an allocation? Yeah, I don't know a lot of information about that, but I mean there are so many of us Australians playing over in the NWSL. You'd think that there might be some sort of connection, but I suppose the freedom for the Aussie girls to go wherever they want is still important. But yeah, I mean it could be a good thing. I'm not sure.
Gentleman in the first row, please.
Michael Lynch from The Age and Sydney Morning Herald again. Just a question for Ante. Just going back to your central defensive conundrum and what you also talked about, changes in wide areas up front. So is Steph your number one alternative to move her central, or are there other alternatives in your mind? And what personnel are you actually looking at in the wide areas up front?
Okay, so I think Steph's an obvious choice. She's played there before and she's a left footer, so I think she gives us some good balance in there. So very comfortable with her, and I've actually worked with her in that area and she has played in that position. And wide areas, I think Lynchy, to be honest, when you see that the squad that we've had, the players we've either started there or come into the game, there's no real surprises. It's just now picking the ones that we feel are going to give us the best options from the start, or making an impact off the bench.
Could you use microphone, please?
Just then to clarify, you seem to be suggesting quite a few changes, maybe.
Depends how you read into it, Lynchy. What I said was, when you look at our attacking players and the ones that we've used starting the game and coming off the bench, I think it's obvious and clear that the options we do have now is just a chance to make a decision. Will we be starting with a particular player, or will they be coming off the bench?
Okay, last question in the back. Yes.
Question in English. I'm Ana from UOL in Brazil. I'd like to know, how do you both plan on stopping Cristiane and possibly even Marta?
You're a defender, you can answer that.
I mean, they're both individually great players. I've played against Marta a lot and played with her. So I suppose I know how she plays a little better than I know Cristiane, but I've also played against her a few times. Both individually players full of flair and skill and can really turn it on at any point. So just being switched on at all times during the entire game, the 90 minutes, and lots of communication throughout the entire field, and especially along the back line. But we'll do our best.
Thank you very much. Time to close. So Team Brazil will have a press conference from 6:30. Thank you very much. All the best for the next match.